Здравствуйте, everyone. It's Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. I'm Joe Pratt, keeping you informed of what's happening in the world. Happy birthday to those of you born on this date. You share a birthday with Christopher Maloney, Marvin Gaye, Alec Guinness, Giacomo Casanova, and Hans Christian Andersen. Looking at the Middle East, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is apologizing for a military strike that killed 7 workers that were helping to deliver aid to Gaza. Israel is conducting an investigation into what happened and expressed sincere sorrow for the incident. Iran is vowing revenge after a bombing of Iran's embassy in Syria. The airstrike destroyed the building and killed at least 7 officials in Iran's elite Revolutionary Guard. Iran blames Israel, and Israel's only comment was to blame Iran for a drone attack at a naval base in southern Israel. Also, the body of a woman who was kidnapped by Hamas has been found and identified. Shani Lauk was taking part in the Nova Musical Festival when Hamas blocked off the roads and then surrounded the crowd on 3 sides and then started gunning them down. The crowd fled into the nearby fields and some were kidnapped. Drugs will again be illegal in Oregon. Governor Kotek signed a bill that will make possession of small amounts of drugs illegal once again. You perhaps remember that Oregon was the first state to pass a law saying that small amounts of drugs, personal use, possession, they called it, were perfectly legal. But Oregon has decided to reverse that law, and it is now once again illegal to possess any amount of certain drugs. The law also seeks to offer drug treatment and mental health services as an alternative to criminal penalties. Abortion battles continue to go on. In Florida, the Supreme Court upheld a Florida law which bans abortions after 15 weeks. That's 3.5 months for those of you who are mathematically challenged. Famous Las Vegas casino, the Tropicana, will close its doors to make way for a new Major League Baseball stadium. The Tropicana opened in 1957 and used to house famous people like the Rat Pack, Elizabeth Taylor, Gladys Knight, and so many more for many years. Murray High School in Utah has a program in high school where students actually build a real house and sell it. They receive class credit, and this year, 37 students in this year's class have been working on it every class period. It takes about 2 years to finish a house. The last house they just finished sold on the very first day for $725,000. In sports, the semifinals of the NIT happen tonight. Utah takes on Indiana State and Georgia takes on Seton Hall. Just 5 games into the Major League Baseball season and we already have a no-hitter. The Astros, Ronel Blanco, blanked the Toronto Blue Jays 10-0 last night. Blanco has had quite a week. He had a new daughter born just a few days ago, and this was just his 8th career start. He wasn't even a starting pitcher, but Justin Verlander got injured, and so he got to start. Elizabeth and Joshua met on a dating app just a few months ago, and during their first date, they realized how much they had in common. They were both born on the same day at the same hospital in Minnesota. They attended the same grade school for 1 year in kindergarten and had the same teacher and were in the same class. They didn't remember each other from that same kindergarten class, but they were both in the class picture. So after dating for 5 months, they decided to get married on the same day as their birthday, September 13th. I want to introduce you to Jeffrey Holt. Jeffrey Holt. He lives in Hinsdale, New Hampshire, in a mobile home park. His clothing is described as threadbare. He doesn't own a car. He rides around town on a riding lawnmower. He was known for often doing odd jobs for other people. His mobile home had hardly any furniture. He had no TV, no computer. His best friend said he had what he wanted, but he didn't want much. Well, Jeffrey Holt died earlier this year and left everything he owned to the city of Hinsdale to benefit the community in the areas of education, health, recreation, and culture. That's what it said in his will. Everything he owned, the mobile home, and $3.8 million. I'm Joe Pratt. Make it a great day.